Hello, everyone. I am Ted,
And I am Emma. Hi, everyone.
and today we are in Bali.
Yes, after a long flight, we are finally here. We just walked out of the airport.
And I stopped walking. I just stood here and looked around.
Me too. The air is so warm, and it smells like flowers and something sweet.
It is also very humid here. Humid means the air has a lot of water in it. It feels warm and a little wet.
But it is a nice kind of warm. It is not uncomfortable. It feels tropical and beautiful.
Bali is a small island in Indonesia. It is one of the most famous travel destinations in the world.
And now I understand why. Just standing here outside the airport, I already feel like I am in a different world.
Bali is sometimes called the Island of the Gods.
The Island of the Gods. That is such a beautiful name.
Yes, people believe that Bali is a very spiritual and magical place. And I think I already feel that.
Me too. Let us go and explore.
Our first stop was the Rice Terraces in Ubud.
Ubud is a town in the center of Bali. It is famous for art, culture, and nature.
I had seen photos of the rice terraces before, but the real thing is completely different.
Can you describe what we saw, Ted?
Imagine a huge green hill, and on that hill, farmers have carefully cut flat steps into the earth. Each step is filled with water and bright green rice plants.
It looks like a giant green staircase going all the way down the mountain.
The rice terraces in Bali are called subak. It is a special water system that Balinese farmers have been using for over 1,000 years.
1,000 years! The same system for 1,000 years?
Yes, the system uses natural water from the mountains. The water moves from one terrace to the next.
And the UNESCO organization has officially recognized the Subak system as a World Heritage Site.
That means the whole world agrees. This is something very special and important.
I stood at the viewpoint and I could not move. I just kept looking and looking.
And then a farmer in the field below looked up and waved at us.
We waved back, and I felt so happy in that moment.
Sometimes the smallest moments are the most beautiful ones.
You are right.
The next day, we visited one of the most famous temples in Bali. It is called Tanah Lot.
Tanah Lot means land in the sea in the Balinese language.
And the name is perfect because the temple is built on a rock right in the middle of the ocean.
When the tide is high, the rock is completely surrounded by water. The temple looks like it is floating.
We arrived in the late afternoon. The sun was getting lower in the sky.
And the light was turning everything golden and orange.
The temple is about 500 years old.
500 years, and it is still standing there in the ocean, looking perfect.
We watched people making offerings near the temple. An offering is a small gift for the gods.
People put flowers, fruit, and incense in a small handmade basket. Then they leave it at the temple.
I noticed that the baskets are very beautiful. They look like small works of art.
Yes, everything in Bali feels like art. The people here have such attention to beauty.
In Bali, you will see offerings everywhere. On the street, in shops, in front of every house.
Every single day, Balinese people make new offerings. It is their way of saying thank you to the gods.
I find that very beautiful. They never forget to be grateful.
There is a lot we can learn from that.
That evening, we went to a small local restaurant. In Bali, they call it a warung.
A warung is a small, simple local restaurant. Very different from a big fancy restaurant.
But the food is incredible.
What did we order, Ted?
I ordered nasi goreng. Nasi means rice, and goreng means fried. So nasi goreng is fried rice.
It came with a fried egg on top and vegetables and chicken and a lot of spices.
The flavor was so deep and rich. I have never had fried rice like that before.
And I ordered satay. Satay is small pieces of meat on a wooden stick cooked over fire.
With peanut sauce on the side.
The peanut sauce is sweet and a little bit spicy at the same time. It is so delicious.
Balinese food uses a lot of fresh spices. Things like lemongrass, ginger, garlic, and turmeric.
Turmeric is the yellow spice. It gives the food a beautiful golden color.
After the food, I asked the waiter, "What makes Balinese food taste so special?"
What did he say?
He said, "We cook with love and we cook with fresh ingredients from our own land. That is the secret."
I believe him. That food tasted like something made with real care.
I'm going to try to make nasi goreng at home.
Good luck, Ted.
The next morning, we went to the sacred monkey forest in Ubud.
The monkey forest is a nature reserve. There are ancient temple ruins inside, and the whole area is covered with huge old trees.
And there are about 700 monkeys living freely in the forest.
700! You walk on the paths and the monkeys are just everywhere around you.
Before we went in, I read all the rules carefully. Rule 1. Do not feed the monkeys.
Rule 2. Hold your bags and belongings very tightly. The monkeys are clever and they like to take things.
I said to Emma, "Hold your bag tightly. Stay alert."
And Ted said, "Do not worry. I am being very careful."
And then 5 minutes later,
A monkey jumped directly onto Ted's shoulder.
it came from nowhere. One moment I was walking, The next moment, there was a monkey sitting on my shoulder, staring at my sunglasses.
I said, Ted, do not move. Stay completely calm.
I said, I am trying to be calm, Emma. But there is a monkey on my shoulder and it wants my sunglasses.
I could not help it. I started laughing.
Emma, stop laughing and help me.
Okay. I had bought a banana from a seller at the entrance. I held it out toward the monkey.
The monkey looked at the banana. Then it looked at my sunglasses. Then it looked at the banana again.
And then it jumped off Ted's shoulder, grabbed the banana, and ran up a tree.
Thank you, Emma. You saved my sunglasses.
You are welcome. But I have to say, you were very funny.
I know. I could see you laughing.
I will never forget that moment.
Neither will I. Neither will I.
On our last evening in Bali, we went to Uluwatu.
Uluwatu is a temple that stands on the edge of a cliff, high above the Indian Ocean.
It is one of the most sacred and spiritually important temples in all of Bali.
Sacred means something is holy, very respected, and spiritually important.
The temple has been standing on that cliff for over 1,000 years.
We arrived just before sunset. The sky was still blue. But as the sun started going down, everything changed.
First, the sky turned gold, then orange, then deep red, then pink and purple.
And the dark shape of the ancient temple was right there, in the middle of all those colors.
We sat down on the cliff and just watched.
How high were we above the ocean?
About 70 meters.
70 meters is very high. I could see the waves hitting the rocks far below us.
And then the Kecak dance started.
The Kecak dance is a traditional Balinese ceremony and performance. A circle of men sit together and make a sound with their voices. Chak, 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 over and over.
They use only their voices, no musical instruments, just human sound.
And they tell a story from Hindu mythology through movement and chanting.
The dance happened right there on the cliff, with the sunset sky and the ocean behind them.
I cannot find words to describe how that felt.
Ted had tears in his eyes.
Emma, you really do not need to tell everyone that.
I had tears too, Ted. It is okay.
It was just everything together. The ocean, the sky, the temple, the fire, the music, the sound of the waves.
In that moment, I understood completely why Bali is called the island of the gods.
This is a memory I will keep for the rest of my life.
How was it? I hope you enjoyed this slow and easy English travel story about Bali.
Today we arrived in Bali and felt the warm, humid tropical air for the first time.
We saw the breathtaking rice terraces of Ubud and learned about the ancient Subak water system.
We visited the ocean temple of Tanah Lot at sunset and watched people make offerings to the gods.
We tried the most delicious Balinese food, nasi goreng, satay, and peanut sauce.
We had a very memorable experience in the sacred monkey forest.
A very, very memorable experience.
And we watched the most beautiful sunset of our lives at Uluwatu Cliff Temple.
Now I have a question for you. What is Bali sometimes called?
The answer was in the video. Did you catch it?
Write your answer in the comments. We read every single one.
On this channel, we share slow and easy English stories to help you practice listening and feel more confident.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give us a like, and leave a comment.
We will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you next time.